Cool.
Yep. It's Tuesday. Hey everybody, today is Tuesday, the 11th of March, 2014. This is GAP episode 214. My name is Luke Laurie. With me is Heath Dixon.
What up?
John Gilroy.
Hello.
Mr. Jeremy Jungless Ray.
Hello.
And Jay Leong.
Yo.
How's everybody going this week? We got more people in here, I guess. This
Good.
time?
Yeah.
What's wrong with last week? We had enough people.
We had the important people.
Yeah, that's right.
That is just not even remotely true.
Well, we got it working, so yeah.
This week again, going out live.
Everything should be working properly this week. That's cool.
What
Wasn't
was
it
wrong
working
last
last
week?
As opposed to last week, I heard of all your many problems that you had trying to work out how
Well,
my very not complicated system works. where
somebody
everything's set up by default,
Somebody
and
didn't
all
tell
you
us
have
the
to do is
password.
hit fucking broadcast. But no,
Well, we signed in.
We signed in as administrator.
fucking knob ends, fucking knobs.
Well, what was your password?
Oh yeah, let me just say it on the podcast.
Well, at least then next time everybody will know and they can remind us.
Yeah.
Ah, of course.
They're not going to come in here.
Yeah, they're not going to come in here, Joe. Jeez.
It's my you know how you have a shitty password, that's your default password.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Because it's just the default bullshit that Windows 8 makes me fucking put in every time I turn my fucking computer on. Because I can't work out how to make it not have a password anymore. I made the mistake, and now I can't be fucked like fighting Windows 8 to not make it happen anymore. So fuck it.
Just say the podcast now, and then say the password now. Next podcast will get you to say your building code.
Yeah.
Next podcast, your address.
And
we'll
we'll
see
skip
this
it.
thing
We'll
in
show
the
us to
show.
put it together.
Yeah.
We can have some new guests.
Yeah.
The people will do the work.
Anyway.
We got it going though. It was working.
Oh,
I've
that's
seen
great.
this.
So anyway.
Yeah, trailer.
It's another episode of the Gap Versus, but we are not versing one another this week. Though I did figure, I thought that we would go over the scores so far to give people an idea of how things are going. So this week we are playing Dark Souls 2. We've got Junglist, who reviewed the game for OzGamers.com and actually works with Vati Vidya to put together a very awesome tips video. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
Thank
It's
you.
40 fucking minutes long, a bit like that.
That's not a tips
What?
video.
that
That's like
Bioshock
it's a
Infinite
movie.
tutorial.
encyclopedia.
It's a comprehensive guide.
Yeah, so he's going to play through it. He's going to OneBro.
Well, yeah.
He's just
In
going to
3 hours.
he doesn't even need 3 hours.
Oh,
okay.
3 hours.
It's going to be a short episode.
I need 50 hours.
So I guess
Are you starting from scratch?
Yeah, I'm starting from scratch, but these early stages, you're not supposed to be that much higher than level 1 anyway. So.
That's cool.
So I guess before we start, we should put spoiler tags and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
you don't want to be spoiled by Dark Souls 2, maybe don't watch the feed. Right?
If
Just
you
keep
don't
the
want to
audio
see
on.
an expert fucking annihilate the first couple of bosses, then yes, don't
We're
watch.
spoiling the opening
The
cutscene
feed.
right now.
But yeah, we'll try to avoid any audio spoilers. So if you don't want anything, but you still want that pure Gap goodness, we'll throw the audio up on Friday as always.
I can like up to the people in the chat. Like I can explain as much or as little as people want about what's happening on
Yep.
screen and the lore and like what the bosses do and what's special about each boss.
All right. Well, if you're coming up to a part where you think it's going to be of particular interest and
Yeah.
or a spoiler,
Yeah.
just let us know and we'll ask the chat room what they think we should talk about.
There's not too much lore spoilery in the first few levels, but I just some people just want to block everything out. And
Yeah. Okay. So before we begin, while the opening cutscene just finished. So this is where I died. See, there's these little dogs in the grass here. So when I first played it,
You
for the first
died
time,
here.
I died before I even
I
made
wasn't
any
that
level.
bad. I made it to the ladies.
You should try and fucking attack one of these dog things. They
Please.
fuck you up, man.
John just runs straight
Yeah.
past it. Anyway,
Look at him go. He's already found some shit nobody fucking knew about. Anyway, the scores so far, we've got Heath on 40 points, Luke on 30 points, Joe on 26 points, Jung on 22
I
points,
get that.
and Jay on 12 points.
See, this is what happens when you guys skip a week.
did you include last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if you skip a week, you just take the average score.
No,
that
sorry.
week.
That's insanity.
I
Yeah.
don't get it
It's
because
not fair. You know, some of us live busy lives.
I've never had a red card.
Yeah, but you missed a week, so
I missed more than a week.
that's why you've been screwed on that one, John.
I guess.
How could Luke be so high? He got his half of the score last week as well.
That's it's
So, I'm just gonna let this play, I guess. For
yeah.
This
been
is
in
fun,
always
though.
new
I
Jack.
like this cutscene.
just skip the cutscenes.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Well, in case people want to
Oh
watch
my, your face.
Well, I don't think they've got sound.
it. They
So.
got no sound, so. Oh, they got
It's got subtitles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Anyway.
So
How's San Fran?
San Fran,
How's it playing?
this week, you know how I always complain about.
You're allowed to talk about it because review's out, right?
Yes.
Good.
You know how I always complain about everything else everyone does? Like, the toilets are too high, the water in the toilets is too high, and, Americans just walk really slow for no fucking reason. I just want to, like, throttle them, and, I just don't understand what's going on with so many things over there. It's just a crazy place.
Yeah.
Well, this
San Fran's
week.
awesome.
This week, I want to talk about things I do bad, okay? So, when I'm on a plane, look, when I'm on a plane, I can't shit. I cannot take a poop on a plane. I've never done it. Ever. I
Neither
don't
have I.
know if it's like psychosomatic or if maybe like the pressure just makes me not able to poop, because I always feel like I need to poop, but I can't poop.
Air pressure.
No, I don't know. I think mine's more out of courtesy. I'm like, I don't really want to stink up the place.
Like 15-hour thing, like I'm not gonna not, who cares?
Yeah, have you ever sat next to the toilet before and smelled the crap that comes out?
I can never smell it. And this is where I'm going with this, right? I pass so much gas on these overseas flights. I am like, Koreans rush me to build refineries and shit on me. Like, I have so much gas. I fart constantly, and I can never tell if the people around me can smell, because I can't smell.
No, those air conditioners do a pretty good job.
They do a
Of
pretty good
course you
job,
can
right?
smell it. God.
No, I can't smell it. And I can usually smell my own farts.
Are you fighting to the cushion of the seat? Is that why?
Well, I'm trying to. I'm trying to hide it, right?
Wait till you get up, Joe. That's when it's
slow.
That's what
disperse.
terrifies me, right? Like, but they might think I'm going to. Oh God, he shit his pants again, right?
How
And
many
then when I
times
come
have
back, then when I come back, right, I sit down and the smell goes away, and I'm like, that's weird.
I'm just
Right.
imagining like rows and rows of heads, and then you just see one head just go a bit to the side.
That's usually like you know how you've got your armrests on either side, and you sort of just lift yourself up with like try and be as subtle as possible. And you lift yourself up with your forearms,
Yeah.
and you let the fart out. Nobody at home can see this. Nobody even on the stream can see this. But look, I've got farting on the
He's
plane down to a
perfected it.
fart, a fine art. A
Who's
fart.
next to you at this stage?
Whoever.
Like,
Like whoever it is, I can't tell if they can smell it, but if they can, it's got to be abysmal. Like, it's got to be like just an awful experience for them. And I don't care, because I can't smell it, right? I actually, and there's the whole, like farts are my babies. Like, you can't not love your babies, right? Like,
Right.
I've never had a bad smelling fart as far as I'm concerned. I've had some rotten ones, right? Like you've got a kid and you think, shit, that kid is rotten, but you still love him, right? He's still your kid. That's how I feel about my farts. Anyway,
Joe Gilroy, everybody.
he's got a tiny head.
anyway,
This is what I'm gonna do for 3 hours. I'm just gonna customize his.
that's what I wanted to talk about first.
Yeah,
I'm the
that's-
terrible person on planes. You don't want to sit near me.
You're the guy that farts on planes.
I'm the plane. Look, I am like
I am
all
the
of
one
the
who
gas.
farts.
Yes, I am the one who farts. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Watch Dogs and Dark Souls have both been controversial over the last week for the final code not looking exactly like the very first time we saw it.
Oh god.
So Dark Souls, the lighting engine changed a little bit, and so there's a different, basically a different palette of lights for the entire game, and sites have been comparing GIFs between what we saw when it was first released and what we're seeing now, and they're not happy. The lighting's changed, and it's they've been lied to. And the same thing what happened with Watch Dogs, where someone grabbed a GIF of someone doing a jump over a bridge from the latest video footage.
The story trailer video.
And they compared it with footage we'd seen a long time ago. And there's a significant difference. And the first time I saw the GIF, I was flabbergasted. Like, the difference is, holy shit, like aliens, colonial marines.
Looks like it's broken.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking PlayStation 1 game. Like, just awful. But when I watched the video, that wasn't the case. I think some trickery, or, you know, not necessarily deliberate trickery, but something's gone down in the compression of the GIF. Like, to make a GIF out of a video, like, even, like, a small GIF, like a 400 pixel wide GIF, you've got to drop a lot of colors to get it down to something reasonable, to get it down to, like, 5 megabytes. You've got to drop, like, half the colors, you've got to compress the colors, you've got to do all these.
Are there websites that do that, where you can just upload the video and get a GIF?
There's one going around lately that a lot of people are using. I can't remember the name of it though. That I've seen a lot, like particularly on on Reddit.
Right.
It seems to be like the one they use.
Yeah, I don't know. I make all my GIFs in Photoshop, but like all my GIFs, I made like 10 GIFs, but I made all 10 of them in Photoshop, and I've got a pretty good grasp on it now. And yeah, when they compressed this this video of Watch Dogs down, it lost a lot of what, you know, it looked a lot worse than the video. So it's sort of like like a lack of truth in advertising You know, they're advertising the advertisement worse than what it is, which is just odd. Is punching that?
This is the whole game right here.
Punching carts?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Card
Speaking of
puncher.
looking like PlayStation 1 game.
Whoa!
What's going on with your body, buddy?
Are you gonna
Look,
fight
I
one of
cannot be
those?
naked if you want, but I mean, we're all
What's
men
the fun of
here,
that? Yeah.
and I feel like we're comfortable with the male body, and this is something I can do.
He's not even fighting back.
Yeah.
So anyway, people got.
What did you just do?
I'm punching this
He's
guy.
punching them. Fucking
He's-
focus.
He's homeless. He wants money. No need to do that.
I don't care
Great
about
card,
his
eh?
situation.
So anyway,
We gotta wait.
we're gonna wait. We're gonna see the
Yeah.
fucking full game. Like, there are a lot of other differences in this video. Like, the comparison video was at night time in the rain. So you got, you know, beautiful reflections of light and you know, all that kind of stuff. It looked very pretty. The other video was on a foggy day. So yeah, it looked like there was fog everywhere, and yeah, it looked very gamey by comparison.
So people have to understand that when we saw Watch Dogs 2 years ago at E3, that was not running on a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. It was running on a PC, like a stacked PC.
Yeah.
And now we're at the stage where the hardware's out, and it could have been different to what the specs were back then. I mean, we don't know. We've got to wait and see when it comes out, what it's like. And I don't think the difference is going to be drastically like completely changed. But
Well, the other thing is that all of these previews, have you ever played a demo and it says, this is not the final code, this may not represent, like that? I didn't think that it needed to be said that, you know, every time you see a fucking preview video, it might not be entirely like that. It's not like, yeah.
It's the reason why there's this race now to like really emphasize how early it is, and oh no, it's an alpha, not a beta, and you know, it's like, you know, they like with DayZ and that guy, you know, she really has to make his point quite strongly, you know.
Is this where Snuggly the Crow lives? Or?
Yes, this is the new Snuggly.
Cool.
You get random stuff from doing this,
Yeah.
and
Or what? So it's not regimented, you don't. put something down and always get the same thing back, or
No, not always the same thing.
Right.
So one time, the first thing I put down, so that time was just a soul. Sometimes you get like, different bits of Titanite.
right?
One time I put my first thing down and got a demon great hammer right from the beginning of the game.
Wow.
And if you don't remember that one from Dark Souls, that was like a huge hammer that took 50 strength to wield.
That's the
So-
thing you get off the Asylum demon, right?
Yeah, that one. So you obviously it took me like ages to get my strength high enough to properly use it, but I actually stopped my strength at 40 because the benefit drop off is quite significant at 40. But if you get your strength halfway, so I got mine to 25,
Yep.
then you can two-hand the sucker. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. Like in that playthrough, just like right at the start of the game, that huge ass hammer with amazing poise break, you just do this overhead smash with it, and any kind of humanoid shaped enemy just gets flattened. You can just flatten it over and over again until they die.
That's good. Okay, so anyway, that was my rant. Just fucking focus.
Settle down.
It's not always going to be exactly like that. And yeah, let's move on to some games we've been playing. Might as well start with Jung, I guess. I mean, we're at a part where I think he doesn't need to concentrate too much. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, ledge.
Well, I guess I've been playing a little bit of Dark Souls too.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
Just a tad. I finished it and halfway through my OneBro Run at home. So that means I've kind of beaten 2 of the really hard bosses that this game has. Although I don't think, like I think I've said before on the podcast, there's nothing really that approaches Smo and Ornstein difficulty.
yeah.
But yeah, 2 of the harder bosses in this game I've already beaten as OneBro, and then there's one towards the end which I'm kind of not sure how I'm going to do it, but cross that bridge when I come to it. And there's a couple easy ones in the way in the meantime, so I'll
So
knock those out.
You've killed all the bosses now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I've killed all the bosses. There's a couple that...
All the main bosses.
Yeah, all the main bosses, all the story essential bosses, and most of the side bosses. Even like, there's like a solo PvE challenge covenant. So I joined that and I pursued that to the highest rank, and there's a boss at the end of that, and I did that, the Dark Lurker. And that was cool. Yeah, there's 2 bosses that I can think of off the top of my head, which I won't say much about because they are quite spoilery. There's 2 that I can think of that I have no clue how to beat. And I don't know if it's just going to be like an amazing slog of like, 2 hours long fight, just cheese grating that health bar down, or whether there's some trick. And I'm betting on the fact that there's some trick, because a lot of boss fights in this game do have some trick.
Yep.
That makes things a lot easier for you. So yeah, the community will probably explore that when the game comes out tomorrow. Yeah, and already the game has hinted at, like, if you do beat those 2 things, those 2 bosses, some pretty cool rewards. So yeah, I haven't dipped into MG Plus yet because I was pretty keen to get started on my OneBro Run.
Yep.
Last time when I did OneBro, the community had come up with several guides, and there was like a Reddit community, a subreddit for OneBros and stuff like that. So it was kind of mapped out, the whole process of doing OneBro. You just had to do it. So I was keen to get started on this one because there was no blueprint for it. I have to do all the problem solving myself.
Yeah. So I guess it comes back to that sort of that thing I was saying about how there are people who want to be explorers, and there are people who want to go on the guided tour.
Yeah.
And you want to be part of the explorers this time.
Definitely, yeah. I get a lot of satisfaction from that problem solving and the planning that goes into a boss fight, as well as the execution. And I do feel like this game is a little easier than Dark Souls. So the OneBro challenge is really cool. It's like, with a game like this, I feel like it's just a tad, just a tad easier. But then like it gives you the opportunity to find the difficulty level that you like, and it's not just a difficulty slider, it's doing things in the game. So whether you want to make things harder, by sprinkling something in a bonfire, or joining the right covenant, or wearing a particular ring, or doing NG+, or if you want to make things easier by just cheesing shit. You know, if you want to, like, this sorcery can be a little easy. There's a few miracles that make things easy. So even as a OneBro, like, I was able to cheese some shit, and and it ended up being quite easy. But then, yeah, there were other things that you just can't get around. It's like, no, you just have to do a lot better. That's the only way you're going to get this done. Yeah, so it's been a really good experience so far. I'd say probably a little over halfway the old OneBro Run. Yeah, but I'm loving it, man. I'm absolutely loving the game. It's like...
Jackmon777 writes, is OneBro harder with a different stat allocation? 6 doesn't give you a lot of options for weapons.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it just reminded me of something. Yeah, it is harder. I will say it is harder, and the main reason, because the main thing that comes to mind is that like, every stat is 6, and the club. I mean, obviously, like, the same thing is the same problem as in Dark Souls. Like, you can't use a lot of weapons. Like, the basic sword, I think, required 1 more dexterity in Dark Souls than you had, so you couldn't even use a basic sword. In this, it's worse. You can use less. The only weapons that you can properly use in this, with a strength of 6 and dexterity of 6, is a dagger and a broken sword.
Right.
And they do about the same damage. So you can't do the club, which, like in the old OneBro in Dark Souls, like, you could use a reinforced club, which was actually a pretty good weapon, and it caused bleed damage and all that sort of stuff. And then you could upgrade it down the fire and lightning path, which did not scale, and that was good for you because you didn't want it to scale, like, you had no stats. So in this one, fire and lightning do scale. Lightning scales with your faith, and fire is a little trickier, like a combination of intelligence and faith. Although your actual pyromancies still go off the strength of your pyro hand. So with this one, the club requires 12 strength, and that means, like, you cannot one-hand it. But what I'm going to be doing here is two-handing it, which means every time I want to hit someone, I have to switch between 1 and 2 hands with my weapon. So I'll be doing, like, right now, I'll be doing a lot of this kind of blocking, and then when I want to hit, I'll have to switch like this. And it's just a fraction of a second that you have to spend, which, you know, it actually means, like, there's some boss fights when they only give you a fraction of a second. And it's kind of cool what they do. Like, the way it's designed is that so only certain playstyles can take advantage of certain windows of opportunity with that boss. But as a OneBro, it just makes it, like, fucking hard. You really have to work for it. Yeah, so that's the main thing. And then obviously, if you want to get into, like, proper pyromancy and sorcery and miracles and stuff like that, there are rings in the game that raise intelligence and raise faith. So it becomes a bit of a problem-solving thing. Like, as you can see here, you can wear 4 rings now instead of 2. So you can wear, like, a plus intelligence and plus faith ring at the same time. Certain people will only talk to if you have a certain amount of one stat. Like, if you only have, you know, a little bit, they'll say, "Oh, I've got no interest in you." But yeah, so that's part of it without giving too much away. Like, I've worked out a way where you can use, like, sorcery, you can use miracles, pyromancy, you can even use hex magic, which kind of, like, is a combination of both intelligence and faith. All that shit is hard. Like, you have to sacrifice to be able to do that stuff. Sacrifice in other areas, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's harder. That's the
Okay.
short answer. Sorry to go all out on you.
Cool. So do the guys scale?
Guys,
The
no.
enemies, or is it just like this area is like level? Like, how do you know
this
that these
is
guys
meant-
you can take them?
Oh, well, this
Because
is meant to be an early level.
Yeah, you're meant to go this way anyway. Even though I didn't go this way when I
Yeah, you don't have
Most
to go
people
this
do.
way. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
can.
not obvious.
It's a bit more like in the other Dark Souls, like, you kind of did have to go one way. You know, and a lot of people tried to go catacombs and just got fucking smashed.
Yeah.
But in this one, yeah, you can kind of.
There's no indication of, like, that's something I can't take on. It's just until it starts hitting you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, like, you know, you're not going to be able to jump down that giant fucking pit without the right ring that reduces fall damage and stuff, you know. And certain ways you're going to be physically blocked from going until you get like at least a certain amount of souls, like 2,000.
But there's no like there's no level like indicator to tell you, oh yeah, you can fight this dude.
No,
so
it's
yeah,
none of
that
that.
doesn't exist in Souls games.
No, and you know you can actually do quite a bit from this low level, as you know we're going to demonstrate. So it's like, you know, you're not really blocked from doing a whole bunch of shit. And when you come back to these lower level areas as a higher level character, yeah, the blows do kind of glance off you a little bit, but if you get outnumbered, you can still die. The reason you find that the reason you breeze through it is more because of your skill and your muscle memory and all that sort of stuff, rather than you know, you're just like in Final Fantasy or something when you're 2 levels higher, they just can't touch you. It's
Yeah.
not like that.
I mean, it's also the case that most people have spent so much time in any one area. I mean, you know, like the first time you go through the Undead Berg, you don't know where the fuck you're supposed to go. You don't know you
Yeah.
shouldn't be, you know, if you're not capable, you shouldn't be trying to fight the fucking Black Knight. You don't know that shit. And so once you learn it, you sort of commit it to memory because you don't want to make the mistakes that you made again.
Yeah, yeah.
And so as a result, like you never you just don't make those. You never make those mistakes again. So when you come back as a high level, like it seems a lot easier. You seem to just sort of breeze through. That's because you know where you're supposed to go. You know, like
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, that's right.
It's
yeah.
all this attained knowledge already. It's the same as if you go there. Like it's why OneBro even works
Yeah, yeah.
as a concept. Alright, so you like it a lot.
I love it, man. It's
Yep.
my new jam.
Did you say you reviewed it?
I did review it for OzGamers.
Okay.
And I'm going to be playing this for quite a while, man. Like, I just know at the moment, like, I'm going to be doing multiple different runs. I'm going to be, like, trying different runs out with different covenants and different ways to make things harder. Like, how much bonfire aesthetic can I sprinkle in a fire and make shit really hard for myself. Yeah, it is set out that way. Where
Are
it's
you
like-
tempted to use all of your knowledge to just fuck with people when the game launches? Just
yeah, you can
invade
do
the
that.
shit out of them?
I mean, they've changed the matchmaking online now to be where it's not according to level. There's not like a level algorithm now. It's according to time spent
Right.
to kind of cut down on twinkers.
Okay.
What's a twinker?
People who like get super high level and mad gear and then try to invade lower level people and just smash them. And then because
Dickheads, we know them as.
A bully.
A bully.
bully, and because OneBro is like a thing, yeah, you can do that and get like good gear as a level 1 and invade other level 1s.
Ah, right.
And I even got invaded during my OneBro run by like some level 50 dude.
Did you get the thing one case?
I didn't. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, I'm not gonna get that because my dagger's gonna break and stuff.
Fuck you then.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, so now it goes by time spent, but I think that might be only time spent on on that character. So you can still have a lot of knowledge of the game, and then just start a new character and still smash people, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of I think the starting gear, like you can't, not a shitload of gear is available to you in these early stages. I've noticed a few things that you'd be able to speedrun to, but like, you know, this shield that I've got at the moment, like all the stuff that's just readily available
Yeah.
is a bit shit. Like, I'll be using this shield just because I like the look of it. I've been doing it most of my OneBro run at home, but yeah, there's another shield coming up, which is
What did you just buy?
I just bought my club,
Ah, okay.
and now I'm gonna buy a firebomb, and you will see why.
Cool.
I had to rest at the bonfire there because when you rest at a bonfire now, it refreshes the durability on your weapons, and this dagger breaks really quick.
So that's the same dagger that come up before saying that it was at risk?
Yes.
So, like reinforcing it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So like,
It's the same dagger.
Repairing.
You have
Repairing,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, it repairs it, but if it gets completely broken,
Uh,
then you have to go to a blacksmith and get it properly repaired. Or like, if before it breaks, then you can use some repair powder on it, or something like that. Like it's sort of a choice you have to make. Like if you're so far,
WD-40.
yeah, a bit of that magic spray. Like you've been adventuring for heaps long, and you've got a weapon that's about to break. You have to make that choice. Like, do I go back to the bonfire and repair, or do I keep on going and chance it? Obviously, like if you do this a lot, that is not good for it. So that's a choice. Like you kind of have to, if you're in an area with a lot of tight corridors, you kind of have to adapt to not scrape your weapon against that shit. Like if you've got a katana, they break super easy, and it's a balancing factor in this game. So, yeah, it's kind of like you might have a really good weapon that's balanced out with the fact that it breaks like a motherfucker. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Do you think? Oh, sorry. Jack Mon said. Do you think it lends itself to speedrunning like Dark Souls 1 did, with the connected level design?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. It's going to be a bit different with all the fact that you can warp straight away. And, when it comes to speedruns, the entire nature of that stuff is kind of decided by what glitches they can find. So that's going to be a big factor. I've found a couple bugs.
Right.
Not bugs that, skip me half the game.
Yeah.
But, just, like textures that keep flashing in and out and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we saw a bit of a glitch earlier when you kicked that ladder and
right.
the game froze a little.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's not without its bugs, so, according to whatever the community can find.
Cool. Alright, shall we move on to a new game?
Sure.
Are you not killing anything? You're just putting through?
There's a couple of things I'm trying to get. I was actually going to do a little... I was thinking about doing like a YouTube tips channel. It's just something I was playing with as an idea, just because I know a lot about Dark Souls 2 and I can do some boss guides and shit like that. And this is one of the things I was thinking about doing as a video, is just like the first things that you should do when you start a game. One of them is talking to this guy. He gives you the key to his house in the starting town. And because your Estus flask only has one charge in this game from the start, so you can only heal yourself one time. But then the more Estus flask shards that you find in the world increases the amount of charges by one.
Right.
So I've just found a couple, and I'm going to go back to the hometown now and give myself a few more heals. It's a good little thing to do right at the start. Like at the moment, like you start with one, and in a moment I'm about to have 4. So.
Yeah, I kind of used it up. Oh, I had to use it up pretty quickly.
Yeah. And it recharges every bonfire, but like obviously it's a lot better to have 4 heals than
Yeah.
1. So that's kind of the first thing I do every game, is grab these Estus schnitzels.
What's the schnitzel?
Oh, he's behind you.
I had a schnitzel for lunch today.
Did you? Was it an Estus schnitzel?
Not quite. But it was cut in half, so it felt like 2.
So we talk about something else?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do that.
What shall we talk about?
Oh.
South Park: Stick of Truth, because I know John's played that, and we should
Yeah.
probably get it out of the way before he starts needing to concentrate.
South Park, it's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I finished it on Sunday, and
I lolled.
I also lolled. I
If-
lolled many times.
If you...
I couldn't believe the quality of it when I first booted it up. I thought I wasn't expecting
Yeah, it's
that.
like, it's pretty
Yeah.
much the TV show.
You're playing the TV show.
Yes.
And that's the thing with this game, like, if you are not a South Park person, then don't play it.
Yeah. No,
Because
it's-
you'll think it's the shittiest RPG
It's,
you've ever played.
yeah, it's not even a good game. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a good RPG.
It
does things that are
But
okay.
it's a base.
It does things that are okay, but it's not, like, amazing.
It's
out.
Paper Mario with South Park characters. I mean,
Yeah.
But no, seriously, my wife,
My wife. She's very nice.
saw me playing it and thought I was watching the show. So, like, it looks picture perfect. I
yeah,
mean,
and even the...
obviously the show is fucking little paper cutouts
Yeah.
made to look really shitty, but
But the production on it is done really well.
yeah, no, they replicated it perfectly. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's. I didn't find it super funny a lot of the time. Like, I was just sort of.
No, it didn't make me like go, ah, it just made me like.
Grin.
Yeah.
Like, I was just sort of silly grinning a lot of the time. I played it on the plane back from San Fran. And.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on my laptop and offline mode and shit. And, yeah, I just sat there, like, sort of stupid grin for the 4 hours or so I spent playing it. And, yeah, I enjoyed that. There were a couple of, like, just full-blown laugh out loud moments.
Yeah.
Just areas where they managed to surprise me, but in a lot of ways it sort of reminded me of, do you guys remember the 201st episodes of South Park? Where they made this big deal about it, and
Was it a takeoff of The Simpsons?
no, it was instead of doing a clip show, they just revisited a shitload of scenarios that they'd been through over the years. So they had, Mecha Barbara Streisand and all that kind of stuff. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like another 200th episode, like a brand new storyline.
But you're going back and seeing all the stuff.
But yeah, you keep coming across like just references to the show that you obviously remember, like,
Man, Bear Pig.
yeah, that stuff. And like because I was actually rewatching South Park in the lead up to playing the game, and yeah, all this stuff like Professor Chaos's hideout is in his grandma's U-Haul, and when you go to his lair in the game, it's in his grandma's U-Haul again, and that kind of stuff. And, it's like little tiny details that don't really, like, nobody should actually give a shit about, but obviously the South Park Studios guys do, like Trey and Matt and everyone who works on the game cares quite a bit about it. What do you guys think of the censored elements?
Oh, it's no big deal.
I actually, in some circumstances, I thought they were funnier than what the actual
I
scene
think
might
it
be.
was. That made me actually laugh out loud. I think that was quite well done.
Yeah.
I think it was
Especially with the crying koala in the
Yeah.
background.
Did you guys get a muted Nazi?
Yeah.
Yes.
With whenever they would say like Heil Hitler or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, at first I thought it might have been an audio bug, but then it was always when they would do that. So.
Yeah. But then one time it worked.
It was a bit inconsistent for me.
It worked. I remember
Yeah.
once that something happened. And I'm not going to spoil it because, story reasons. But there was an occasion where it did work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I noticed it with one particular Nazi enemy. So, like, I could always hear them, but the rest of them I couldn't hear. I think it was just, they made the European version for the Germans, and the Germans have zero tolerance
Yeah. For that stuff.
for Hitler.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I think they just didn't put the sound file back into the censored version or low violence version or whatever it's fucking called on Steam. But no, the one where they're talking about I don't know what to tell you, Australia.
Yeah.
We're doing, this is the first ever interactive abortion in a video game,
Yeah.
and I'm afraid that you're not allowed to be involved in it. Holy shit, I laughed my ass off. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought the ending, the last boss fight, was a bit of a pain in the ass.
Haven't finished.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Did you guys fight Al Gore?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys have trouble with that fight or what?
I had no
Little bit.
trouble with anything because I came across this weapon that just made everything so fucking easy.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
The tampons.
Ah,
Cherokee tampons.
Did you ever use those?
No.
The Cherokee
It's like-
tampons?
No, it's like the used tampons.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And
Where
they
do you find?
inflict.
Where do you find those?
It's both gross damage and bleed damage.
Yeah.
And if you get perfect strikes, perfect strikes means you get 6 of them at random targets.
Yeah.
So it affects, like, it usually, if there's a group of like 4 or something, it usually affects everyone. And I think whether it's bleed or gross or whatever it is, works off a percentage of health instead of like
It's
a
gross.
specific amount of
Yeah,
health.
gross does.
So like no matter who I used it against, it was great.
Where do you get this from?
You got it from the hospital place.
Yeah, it's in the abortion.
Yeah,
Clinic,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
It's just mad, like.
Yeah, and
So-
they stack, right? Bleed stacks.
Yeah,
So that would
it,
be
it gets
good
people up
against-
to +5.
Oh, cool.
There was like higher level stuff that I didn't even use because I just kept the tampons. They were just too good. They were that good.
That's
But,
hilarious.
yeah, the problem with that fight was that they introduced you to that side quest really early on,
Yep.
and you can kind of just keep going and doing it.
Yeah.
And that's I got the same problem as you did. I got stuck at that part because I advanced it too far too early on.
Yep.
Because basically I started the game, did like the first main quest, and then went around the whole town and just did all the side shit.
Yep.
And that was one of the first things it gives you. And I kept going and going, and it got to the point where he was just, that fight was so difficult that I spent half the game getting spammed by him.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that
Yeah,
happens.
that's what you're trying to
Yeah,
stop.
but I just like completely blanked it out. Oh, yeah, whatever.
I wound up beating him by using Butters. Butters
Oh,
is
yeah.
easily the best
His
team up.
his what do you call
Professor Chaos, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's so random.
So, well, I would buy a shitload of power things.
PB regen.
Yeah, and a shitload of coffee,
Mm.
and
So you can double attack.
then I just get him to spam the Professor Chaos,
Yeah.
and keep doing that until I got the shields. So I'd have 9 shields,
Yeah.
and then I could just chip him down because 9 shields is fucking amazing.
So what were you guys playing as?
I was a mage,
Alright, yes, that's what I was.
No,
Yeah.
I was just a warrior soldier.
warrior. Yeah, John, what were you?
Jew.
A Jew.
Yeah.
What was his special powers?
He had a weird. I think it was all based around like if you were suffering, like if you had some kind of status effect on you, then you would be stronger. I got a lot of like, like
So
stuff.
what, if you were bleeding and stuff, you'd be stronger.
Yeah, like a lot of that type of stuff. And I just kind of ditched the gear though because the gear that I would find in the world was a lot better.
Yeah.
So a lot of the gear that they kind of forced on you, like as soon as you leveled up and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I got rid of that pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I finished the game with the hockey stick that you buy in Canada. Holy shit, how good was
Jesus.
Canada?
Yeah, Canada was great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh my god, I love that bit.
I haven't got up to that yet.
Oh, you are in for a treat. It is magical.
I got to the stage where probably halfway through the game, I was just one-shotting mobs
Yeah.
or two-shotting them. I would just use my I basically stacked fire.
Yeah.
I would use that, and then if I had somebody else with me, I'd get them to do like their AOE, or if I had Cartman,
Yeah.
I'd get him to do his spell, and I'd pretty much wipe everybody out before they had to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, spending half like the rest of the game, which I was okay with because it wasn't too challenging anyway. The combat, I was more there for the walls.
I like the fact that you don't always have to do combat. They give you the option to shoot something down
Within
or
the environment.
whatever, just to like.
Yeah, the environment stuff was, pretty good. Yeah, no, I loved it. I'm a huge fan. I definitely think it's worth money. I really enjoy playing it. Like, yeah, it's not going to be a game of the year,
No,
but
It's not
it's,
but it's still fun.
if you're a fan of Southpark, if you're aware going in that it's going to be fucking crude and
Oh yeah,
racist,
they go
and
right like towards the end. It really goes in some strange places.
strange places indeed.
How many hours did it take to finish the game? About 8 hours.
No, I think it took me about 15.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
took
I
me
kept
about
taking
15,
breaks.
20. I went through I tried to do everything.
Yeah.
Collectibles and
Yeah.
Cheap
Oh, I didn't
Pokemon.
find all the little I found all the cheap Pokemon, but I didn't find all the
You found all of them. That's good.
all the little toddlers, the
oh yeah,
kindergartens.
there's one. That one, the last one, is behind a tree somewhere.
Thanks,
Thank-
Luke.
Spoilers, Luke.
Behind the
Behind one of the
He's
trees.
behind a tree. No, near the South Park sign. I think he was.
Did you guys watch the?
That might have been a
Ah.
homeless person.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember.
Did you guys watch the 3 episodes that lead up to? the
Yes. Yes.
game? The epic
They were
console
right.
wars.
Yeah.
With Bill Gates. That was pretty funny.
Yes. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it. The Japanese Princess Kenny part.
Oh my god. There's a Japanese princess Kenny bit in.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm curious to see if they do another one.
I would definitely play another one.
Or if they're like, if this whole thing's just taking it out of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if it has.
Yeah, because like it's obviously a long time in the making. They're not only involved in the story, but doing all the voices and approving all that stuff, and then having to go through the whole thing with THQ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like are we gonna see another one really soon from them? Is you be like, we made a shitload of money off this? Because I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Let's go with another. Or are they gonna be like, we'll kind of oversee it a little bit and that's it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how
Who
much.
are the people that make this? It's like you said, South Park Studios.
Obsidian.
Obsidian,
Our mate.
Fallout.
What was
New
his
Vegas.
name?
Oh,
Mark?
Neverwinter.
Matt.
yeah. No, Nathan.
Nathan.
Good one.
Oh, he's on my Facebook. Did he really make this game?
Is he still there?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a better mix of like the child's imagination, playground type stuff, like a mix of that, and then real world stuff, like what's actually happening in real life. Like it did a better job of mixing the two of those things than Costume Quest. I feel like that's what Costume Quest was trying to do,
Yeah.
but this did it better.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I see Costume Quest 2 got announced.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll make it better.
Anyway, who cares about that? The like funny shit like right at the start where you're first getting your gear and the guy's like, you can either buy stuff off him or hear about like rumors and tips.
Yeah.
Did you give him money?
No.
You should give him money.
Why? What's he saying?
He tells you that you should never give people tips or money for tips and rumors because they never get you anywhere. And then just takes your money.
Let's go.
Like,
did
it's
you
a thing
invest
to-
money in the bank?
Yeah, same shit. Like they just this whole little joke they keep doing on you, like this side stuff where you give someone money and they don't give you shit.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
It's not like you're sure.
Yeah, but you get so much money out of that game. You may as well just try. But yeah, they're really funny jokes. Like
Oh no! Is this the first boss?
This is the first boss. I
Yeah.
like the Facebook stuff, like Al Gore not leaving you alone on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
There's nice little meta-ish jokes.
I think I've seen this fight.
Yeah, it's first boss.
Oh, you showed me this like
Yeah,
a couple
it's-
months back. I think.
Yes. I know what happens here.
Yeah. Anything else out on that? They're obviously doing DLC. It looks like.
Are they?
Well, there's a downloadable
Right.
button on the screen, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Cool.
So I don't know what they'll do with that.
Well, there's always an option. But yeah.
What did you guys think about the? I've seen some mixed reactions in the combat, having the like quick time event type of thing on there. Like I was okay with it. I think it was more interactivity with the, rather than just pressing A, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's
spell,
kind of needed. Otherwise, you're just sitting there, just
smashing
mad.
a button. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I've seen a lot of complaints about it, saying it's too hard or.
Too hard.
I don't know. I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't run into any bugs. I've heard a lot of people complaining about bugs.
In some cases, you have to be quite precise.
Oh,
right?
you're
The way
going
that
so well, John.
The way that you hit a block or the way that you strike for a block. But if you
Yeah.
miss it, it's not like you're going to die. As long as you've got, healing items on you, then you'll be fine.
Shit.
Yeah, but like
Oh shit!
Red card, Joe.
your character's spells are always the same, so you learn what you're supposed to be doing with them. It's more or less the enemies you're facing. You don't know how they're gonna react and what the timing on that would be. But like it's I wouldn't call it difficult.
Yeah. It's a little mini game just to keep things a little bit interesting. Like you get. It's also kind of like representative of getting a feel of a certain weapon, because different weapons have different timings and stuff. So that makes sense. Like it's not difficult after you've fought with the weapon a couple times.
Yeah,
You know the
exactly.
exact timing, and that's representative of how it would be.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out that my real reason for getting John to play OneBro is
To get you
for all
through
the
the game.
sweet cheapos.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I just got 10 more cheapos. Anyway,
You have enough, man. You've got like 37,000 gamer score.
that's pathetic.
That's awesome.
No, people.
I've got like 6,000.
I've got like 15, I think.
I'm embarrassed to know.
Level 10.
I'm a
That's
PlayStation
Yeah.
achievement, what do they call them, trophies. That's stats
Trophies.
now. Yeah.
Trophy.
I love a trophy.
Oh my god. Can we not start talking about this?
Oh,
What's the next game? What's our next game?
You're in charge of the computer. Tell us.
I'm working on
I've
it.
got the list there. I should have zoomed it in more.
As I say, you can't see that.
Yeah.
We have Thief. Who's been playing Thief?
Thief.
Oh, maybe I put that on there from last week. I might have played a little bit more, but I don't think I did. Mainly because I got distracted by other games, and that is slowly shuffling its way to the bottom of my list of completion because, yeah, I'm not too keen on it at the moment. We talked about it last week, so. Have you guys talked about it at all? I think Joe did.
Yeah, I'm not
Did you
a fan.
play it, Joe?
I did not play it. No. So.
I don't know. There's not much more to add on that one.
Yeah.
I haven't played.
Yeah, it's a turn.
Too much.
Move on.
Don't play.
We've got.
I can keep going.
Go on.
I had been playing Diablo 3 again
Why?
because the new patch came out.
I don't care.
Loot 2.0.
I don't care.
Well, I do. It's really good. I like it.
Oh,
They've
get
fixed-
on.
they've
Have you
fixed-
played Path of Exile?
I've installed it.
Fucking what? Play Path of Exile, okay? Just.
I want to look. Reaper of Souls is coming out at the end of the month, so I'm just trying to get my character or another character back up.
God damn it.
But I like the changes they've made. The loot is so much better now. It's no longer reliant on the auction house. It's pretty much tied to your character now. The majority of drops that you'll get will be things that you can use. And on the odd occasion, you'll get something that you can either use for another character or your follower or something like that. But at the moment, I've got like 3 legendaries, I think, at the moment on my character, which I don't think I ever saw when playing the first time around. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly getting new stuff that I'm like, shit, this is awesome. I'll put that on, or and the fact that there's a 50% XP weekend or XP bonus while playing now to get people back into it is really good because I'm leveling a lot.
Are the bosses harder?
They made changes to the bosses.
Because they were just. I think all but 2 of them were tank and spank, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I'm smashing people at the moment because I've got the 50% XP, just destroying guys. But before they used to, I think, like be like a Dark Souls thing, I guess, where each area would like these guys would be level 14 or whatever. Now it's progressive depending on your rank. So if you're a level 15, it kind of scales with you as you go through the dungeons, and so that's a little bit better. But I'm playing a demon hunter at the moment, and I've got my follower with me, which I don't think I had a follower with my last playthrough. I
Yeah.
kind of just did it solo, or I was playing with you a lot.
Yeah.
So it's handy to have him there because I kind of just let him be my tank and take up all the damage, and he heals me as well. So I throw him in the middle of stuff and I just mash buttons and things explode, and it's really satisfying and getting tons of loot. And that's what I wanted out of the first time I played that game. And
Does it still lag in single player?
maybe a little bit.
That is such a yes.
No, I don't know because my internet's shit anyway. So like when it's working, it's working. When I've got green bars, it's fine. But when my internet's shit, then
Really?
obviously it's playing up. So
You've got green bars, the game's fine.
yeah,
I am surprised.
yes,
That's
it's
just
fine.
awful.
Like I don't notice any lag when my internet's not fucking up.
To be fair though, Path of Exile is also always online.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is, but there's no form of single player. It's also always multiplayer. So
They've also made changes with the way the crafting system works,
right.
and potions and that. They've pretty much gotten rid of all that stuff now, and there's like one material for crafting. There's one type of potion. That's all the potion you need anymore. It heals you instantly for 60% of your health. Remember before you'd like just accrue all these different types of potions and whatnot. That's all gone. I don't remember if town portals were in there before. But that's now a thing you just summon, and you can just TP back
Yeah.
to your wherever you want. Sorry, you're back to your home base. They've changed the map now. The map is now in the top right of the screen. They've also got another overlay map as well, which you can kind of see the surrounding area and all the different hubs and whatnot. I'm just trying to think back because I played the beta as well, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of changes from the beta they released, and so I'm trying to think. They got rid of identifying scrolls as well. That's now a book that you use back in the main hometown. You just identify everything, and usually I've only had to do that with legendary stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of streamlined changes that they made in there.
I was just about to ask if there were any traps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is.
There are trapped ones without being mimics.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you found that one. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm keen for.
Wait, what?
For
What
Rico.
sorry, what did that just say?
Does not open from this side.
Right.
It opens from that side.
So he's making noise.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they come to see what the ruckus is.
What is all
That
this
is
sound?
fantastic.
Does that happen with every door?
What the fuck was that?
No.
Oh, it's just that specific door.
Someone just
Yeah.
fucking paid their
But there are doors, you know, where there's like guards behind and lots of stuff like that.
Yeah, as Callie Synth points out, there are Australian servers for Path of Exile, so you never ever notice live.
Right.
Which isn't the case for, you know, a company like Blizzard, which is poor and
They don't have any money, those guys.
not doing so well, so they can't afford
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Those big fat cats from New Zealand grinding gear
Yeah.
games, they
Kim.com's down there just throwing money at people.
Fuck
That's
yeah,
what it
it's
is.
The 1%.
dollar bills, yo.
Lastly, they changed the difficulty as well. You know, remember before it used to be like normal, nightmare, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's like 6 different difficulties now, and I think that's going to take into effect once Reaper comes out, and you've got specific gear to kind of to work with,
Yeah.
and that gives you more gold and more experience, but it changes the scale of difficulty. It basically tells you, you know, it recommends you to have all this sort of stuff before you try and do it. So I haven't checked that out yet, but there's also an adventurer mode. I'm not sure what that is either, but it seems to be something like you'll be able to kind of just free roam wherever you want and be able to go into different areas and loot specific types of enemies and that sort of stuff. So
Just
I don't know.
making my
Looks
clothes
alright though.
better.
I'm keen for Reaper of Souls.
Those
Cool.
medals
More
I found.
D3.
Alright, what's next? We have Earth Defense Force. I've been playing Earth Defense Force.
What's that? Is that an old game?
Let me check.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
not that old.
That's a brand
PS2.
new one.
Yeah.
PS2.
I've still got the one before it on Xbox. I found out.
14 or no 20?
We played
48 or
2014 in Brisbane.
Yeah.
I think whatever this one is, there's one before it.
But that was really bad, wasn't it?
They're all really bad.
They're all deliberately like B grade movies.
Yeah.
Like they're all supposed to. You're fighting giant ants and giant spiders, but instead of like going hard out and making like very detailed models and stuff, you're just fighting. They made these ant models and then they blew them up, and so there's just fucking hundreds of these fucking things on screen at once, and they're basically sprites in their nature, because as soon as you kill them, they sort of just disappear. But there's no clipping, there's no collision between any of them, and they sort of just swarm into areas, and they don't collide with one another. So they're able to have shitloads of just ants all over the place. But because they're such like low res, shitty fucking things, they're able to have fuck tons of them. And so it's a game where you just wind up roaming around this terribly textured city, fucking up hundreds and hundreds of ants.
You pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, I did.
What happened?
I pressed the wrong button. I'm done.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, so you're just fucking up hundreds and hundreds of insects. And there are aliens, and it's got this stupid as fuck story. It's the cult movie equivalent of a video game. Like,
It's that. What's that movie that had Jessica Biel in it? Starship Troopers.
that didn't have Jessica Biel in it.
You just saying
You're
random shit.
thinking of Starship Troopers, but yeah, it wasn't Jessica Biel.
Who was in it then?
Denise
Denise
Richards.
Richards.
Oh, you're thinking
the
of
same
Stealth.
slutty
Hey,
kind
look
of
at this
chick.
guy.
And
fella.
Jasper
Oh.
Van Dien and Neil Patrick Harris. Fucking Come on,
I heard
son.
they're making another one of those.
I heard they are too, and it's
With,
gonna be.
and he's coming back.
Yeah, well, DM was in the third one, right?
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I watched the second one. I didn't watch the third one.
The second one was fucking awful. I haven't watched the third one either. Anyway, so yeah, basically it's a Starship Troopers style game. It really it looks goofy as fuck, and it's like just terrible story, and it just plays really well. Like you feel like it's like a bullet hell game where you're just constantly fighting overwhelming odds, and you're desperately trying to hang on, and you're desperately trying to grab a power up that might keep you barely alive and shit. And that's what's good about it. Like it's awesome that way. It's also goofy. You're up to another boss, John.
I have no
Yeah.
patience for a game where I can only get one hit in at a time. This is why I can't play Dark Souls.
So what's this guy's name?
This is the pursuer.
Is it
This
Silver
is
Samurai?
the first encounter when he actually seeks you out before you get to his lair.
He pursues you.
Yeah, you get to his lair later on, and then he kind of like you kill him, and then actually I shouldn't say what happens later in the game.
This role seems really OP.
This what?
The role, you like that role.
That's the
It's
game
actually
mechanic of
the
Dark
window,
Souls.
like the invincibility window for this role has actually been shortened, as opposed to Dark Souls 1.
They're my frames.
They're my frames.
See, he totally hit you though.
Oh,
Just hit him one more.
went for the second swing with Beast.
Can't get greedy
Kaboom! What
See,
the
that's
fuck?
like that.
I get greedy. I'm
You know what we're talking about?
Earth Defense Force.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
have you been playing this one?
So I've been playing it. It's better co-op, and unfortunately Heath hasn't been around to play it with me. But I was going to
Go on,
suggest we
Heath.
play it on the podcast, but I've only got it on PlayStation 3, so that complicates things because of PlayStation's shitty HDCP bullshit.
Yeah,
You can't use component.
Yeah, we could use component. We're gonna dig out the fucking component and stuff. It's just a hassle. So
I'll put
we'll chase all the shit down, and we might play it co-op. You got to see it to fully understand it, because like you just can't convey it in words. Like when we first got it, like it was a joke game. We got it as a joke,
yeah.
and then I think we spent like 8
We
hours
spent the whole night
getting
and a bottle of
fucking
vodka.
plastered and playing it, and it was fucking heaps of fun. I think we did finish it, right?
We
finished
did,
it,
yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
right.
was-
We started in the afternoon. It took us until 10 at night or something, but
Yeah.
we got there.
and yeah, it was like 50 levels, and it was just awesome fun. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. The problem with the defense force is that I don't think it's being sold in stores. I think it's PSN only, which is a bit shit.
The Xbox copy that I've got, the last one,
Yeah.
there was one copy in a JB in the city,
Mm.
and half of the writing on the box is in French.
Right.
So it's like, I'm guessing it was bought somewhere else and someone's traded it into JB as a pre-owned or something. I don't know,
Yep.
but yeah, don't think they actually sell. Oh well, they must have at least sold them in the past in stores.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how we got ours. But
Yeah.
maybe they realised no one buys this.
Maybe. We weren't enough to make them
Yeah.
keep selling it. Okay, next up, Power Star Golf.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, Jay.
Do we really need to talk about
This is
it?
our new jam.
What's not to want to talk about? It's actually a pretty decent golf game. Golf games.
Oh, everybody knows they've watched this for the last 2 weeks.
Golf games. I enjoy golf games. They're just
They're chill out games. You just hit the ball.
yeah.
It's not hard.
There's a little focus, but as long as you have focus, you can do quite well at them.
Yeah.
It's not like struggling to work out how the fuck you're supposed to whatever the fuck Jung is currently doing.
Yeah. It's like, what does half this shit do?
You hit the ball at the little hole, and hopefully it goes in the little hole. And that's about it. That is the entirety of golf. So I enjoy golf games. Power style golf is, it's not. I don't think it's as good as PGA. to them?
Well,
Of course
it's
not.
no, yeah, it's kind of like a given.
See what I
Well,
like.
no, like
It's a
I mean,
simple. It's a simpler game. It's-
I mean, like from a golfing standpoint, I don't care about the graphics or anything.
No, I don't mean that at all. It's
But I think I prefer the swing mechanic in.
The back and forwards.
Yeah, the back and forwards.
Yeah.
I think that way you have to actually concentrate on going down and up. And if you do fuck up and go to the side a bit, that creates the slice or the hook. And I think that's a really cool mechanic. And I sort of miss it. But I don't hate the power bar. I mean, it's just not as good.
It's very old school.
I think
Yeah.
you can elect to have the power bar in the last Tiger Woods I played.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
No. You can.
Yeah, it's that'll connect.
And I found out the last one they released still called Tiger Woods.
There you go.
What's going on?
Still making that money.
$100 on the
Good old
PSN.
Tiger.
Fuck
Damn
off.
money. He's been quiet though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard much from him.
He's still a huge feature whenever they do, like, because when I'm in the States, right,
Yeah.
the only thing that goes on my television, except for Comedy Central,
Yeah.
is SportsCenter.
Yeah.
I leave SportsCenter on all the time. They still love Tiger Woods
Tiger
over in the
Woods.
States. They still talk about him. I don't think the motherfucker's won a tournament in like 2 years.
Yeah.
But he's still, oh yeah, Tiger hurt his back and had to pull out of this tournament. Cool. He's done that for the last 15 fucking tournaments. Stop talking about him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's done. Maybe he's finished. Good God. Anyway, Power Star Golf. I enjoy it. One
Me too.
finger death punch. Heath.
One finger death punch. If this is Jung's new jam, one finger death punch is mine.
Looks cool.
It's have you played it?
No, I just saw
Oh.
the trailer.
Okay. Yeah, so it's basically you're a stick man, and you know
You're a
all these
stick man.
different styles of kung fu, and you stand in the middle of the screen, and so you use either the mouse buttons left and right, or if you've got the controller plugged in, your Xbox controller, it's X and B, and left mouse button or X will attack to your left, or the screen's left. Right mouse button and the B key, whatever, attack to the right, and that's pretty much it. Enemies come from either side. You've got a little sort of attack area either side of you, and as soon as they enter that area, you push whichever button, and you'll throw a punch or a kick or something in their direction. And you know they come in at different rates, and the more enemies you successfully hit, they come in faster and faster. You can miss, so you can swing too early, and you'll get a miss, or if I guess if you swing too late, they'll hit you. You've got a life bar, and each level is just basically it'll come up, and you'll have to defeat 50 enemies, and then it rates you at the end based on how many misses you had. So if you have 0 misses, you get a platinum medal. 1 to 3 is a gold. 4 to 6 is a silver, whatever. Blah blah blah. And yeah, you just go through the different levels. You get to boss fights, which is I think the boss fights. There's different enemies that come in. So you've got your grey or your black ones, whatever. That don't do anything special. They just try and hit you. They're the easiest to defeat. You've got I think blue enemies that come in and they'll dodge your first attack. So they might come in from the right. So you'll hit B, and by dodging your attack, they'll sort of warp through you. So they'll appear on the other side. So you've got to hit B then X to finish them off. I think yellow enemies will dodge your first attack, but it then takes 2 attacks to defeat them, or they'll dodge your first 2 and then you'll get them on the third. So it's like a BXX or a BXB, and you basically learn. All right, this boss is coming up. You might have 3 blues come in real close together. So you can either sort of, BX to finish off the first one, then quickly again BX, BX, or just hit BBB, so you go through all 3 of them, and then XXX, and you come back and finish each one off. And yeah, the faster they come, it's just basically, it's almost, what you say, Joe? It's almost like a rhythm game.
Yeah.
It's basically just recognising what enemy is on which side and what combination you've got to push to finish them off. And you've got different styles of kung fu. They'll come up beforehand saying, This one is your drunken master, and also your stick figure will stand there, lean right sort of back, looking like he's kind of drunk. And then your crane style, so he's sort of standing there on one leg ready to go. And yeah, just really basic sort of thing, but I've put about 3 hours into it already, and 3 hours is a lot of time to be standing there just pressing buttons trying to put enemies down. Really addictive, loving the shit out of that. Only criticism was I think it was like $10-15. So that hurt. So maybe a little bit expensive, but yeah, I can't see the end of it yet, so there seems to be some substance to it. And I guess the challenge for me, I could have gone through and just gotten at least a bronze medal in every sort of little section, and maybe I'd be at the finish by now, I don't know, but I was trying to get a gold on everything, so anything I get a silver I go nah, and I'll do it again until I got a gold, and then I realised that you can get a platinum, so now I've got to get platinum and everything. They mix it up too. You'll come to a nunchuck round and it'll just same sort of thing, but you'll hit them with nunchucks instead, and but they'll come at you really fast, and like maybe 5 enemies and close together on one side, or 3 really close on this side, 2 really close on the other side. There's a storm round where you can't really tell what colour they are. There is a slight sort of difference, which sort of sucks big time for me.
Yeah.
But I figured out that the lighter ones are these blue ones that I've got to dodge, that I've got to basically attack a second time on the other side of me. And yeah, there's flashes of lightning up, so all of a sudden, the lightning could come up and you can't see shit, or it'll go really dark and then all of a sudden it'll flash lightning and all of a sudden there's enemies around you. So they do mix it up, but yeah, really enjoying that. Nice simple little game that is keeping me entertained. And that's why I haven't played Logistics and Warehouse Simulator. I know I said I would, but one thing, Death Punch, it's taken up all my time.
Oh yeah, we talked about Logistics.
Yeah, we did.
Simulator.
I was going to play some more, but no, I found something better.
I'm sure.
Seriously better.
Yeah, I'm sure you would find it.
Not just ironically better, jokingly better.
Cool.
So good times.
Cool.
Oh, and it's real casually racist as well.
Ah.
Gotta love that. It definitely doesn't sound like an Asian man doing, giving you your audible instructions as to what you're supposed to do.
Don't do your impression.
No, I won't.
I thought South Park could be a bit more racist, but
Yeah, that was hilarious.
The first bow you get? The Mongolian bow?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dear
Yeah.
God.
that thing's an amazing weapon. That got me through a lot the first part.
I didn't use it as a kid.
Yeah, I used it. Well, I had a warrior, so you could use it quite well. Every time you hit someone, they'd go burning straight away.
Yeah, the Jew gear that I got was terrible, but I just found like you were upgrading gear every 5 seconds in that game because it just got so much gear to get.
Yeah. Alright.
This bit that I'm gonna do right here is a bit tricky.
Okay.
I'm gonna see why in a sec. Actually, I think.
You just knocked something off.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good shit. Oh, it's down there. Fuck. And I didn't get a firebomb. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so you can probably see what I was trying to do. See, this is why you buy firebombs, kids.
Yes.
I'm trying to crack that ball.
Jay, have you played anything?
Just stick it true.
Just stick it true.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess that leaves.
Two more.
What do you got, Luke?
Dota 2.
Dota 2. I've played Dota 2.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh god.
I did all the training. I'm still playing bots. Bots do not prepare you for playing with real humans. Only, ignoring the fact that there's no way that you could actually create a bot that it would be so caustic. There's no way. I do not believe you could create a bot that would sufficiently recreate the just pure hate that a human can spew at you. My first human game. I explained very clearly that this was my first human versus human game. I'd only been playing against bots. I didn't really know what I was doing. Just let me know what you want me to do, and I'll do my best to do it. But I'm not going to be great. But I promise I'll try my best. I get told to go bots and don't do, I don't know, fucking, all I get is like, do this, do that, do this, do that, but they only talk in the very specific language of Dota 2, which is fucking indecipherable if you, like, never heard it before. So yeah. No, you gotta, look, hey sniper, you gotta go bot, you gotta do this, oh don't push, etc, etc. I'm like, I just go up to the top lane and I just start, shooting things. No, I'm in the top, I'm at top, you go bot. Which fucking, what? I'm killing bots. What do you want from me? These are the bots, okay? These little guys. This is what I've done the whole fucking bot game. I go and fight bots. Now, like, where is bots? Bottom.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You could not get that when someone said, I'm on the top.
There's
You go
another,
bot.
the same game has another meaning for bots used in the text of the game. So just because fuckwits who play Dota decided that bot means something completely different to bot as it's used in the game, that's not my fault that I can't decipher it.
That's not Dota though. That's the genre.
It's the difference
That's
between
the genre.
bot and bots.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Anyway, so that was infuriating. It wasn't just go bot. There was some other thing that I didn't do that pissed them off a lot. So yeah, I copped it pretty hard in that game, which was I just didn't want to play anymore. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I do not need to put up with this shit. But I spent 3 hours. I took 3 hours off, and I jumped into another game, and this dude jumped in, and I did my thing again. I explained, this is my second game. Please go easy on me. Please don't be fuckwits. And this dude immediately goes, hey Joby, I'm kind of new as well. We'll go to the top lane, and I'll go support, and we can just team up there. And so he went Sand King, I think it is.
Yep.
He went Sand King,
It's like
and I went
Scorpion.
Sniper again. Sorry?
He's like a scorpion.
Yeah, he's a Scorpion.
Yeah.
And I went Sniper again, and yeah, we fucking kicked ass. And this dude was like, I fucked up a couple of times. Like I died, I don't know, I died like 3 times. They were just fuck ups, and the dude was like, yeah, you're doing, like, don't worry about it, you're doing well. We're going well. It's okay. We'll just pull back a bit. We don't want to push the lane or something. And I'm gonna go gank middle for a bit. You just hang here and keep getting last hits. But yeah, just talking me through, what was going on. And yeah, I enjoyed that game. That's a fun game. I would play more of that. I do not want to be fucking sweared at for not knowing your fucking indecipherable fucking language though. That's not fun, fuckwits.
That's not Dota though. That is the MOBA community, and they're guys from other games that have started playing, and they'll soon learn that they can't do that shit.
Well, they can do it enough to, piss off new players who want to learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if eventually they get run out of the fucking community, does it?
Well, my
But if they-
advice for new players would be to just, if someone does that shit to you, you just mute them straight off the bat. And then you don't have to listen to their crap. And you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
I couldn't work out how to fucking mute them. That was the problem.
There's a scoreboard. There's a button on the scoreboard.
Again. Joe, there's a button on the scoreboard. How did you not know that? How did you not know
because
How did you not
that's-
know fucking everything?
you know.
It's not explaining the tutorials, Luke.
It's your
What
fault
the fuck
and
is the
shit.
point of tutorials that don't explain anything? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know where I'm supposed to go when I'm playing Like any
You don't.
human game. What?
You learn as you go. It's like fucking.
Why
Dark
doesn't
Souls. You
anyone
just
fucking
play.
tell me? Why don't you tell me right now? If I go sniper every game, which is what I will do,
Mhm.
where do I go at the start of the fucking game?
Middle.
Always middle.
Not always middle. Depends on the other team. Like who else is on your team, but the majority of the time you will go middle.
How do I know? What is to indicate that I'm supposed to go middle then?
Well,
He is a mid hero.
it's not recommended that you go mid and carry, right? Like if you're a new player, right?
What?
Like if you're a new player, you're not supposed to go middle and carry, right?
Not really, but
Sniper's the character that they make you play as in the tutorial. Like, that's fucking retarded. If they don't want you to play as a carry when you first start, why
No,
would
you
they
can
put
play
you
with-
in the fucking shoes of a carry?
no, you can play as a guy if you want. That's fine.
Fucking hell.
Bring it in, Jay.
Oh, I can't calm my farm. Thank you.
Because you're technically supposed to be playing with new people. That's how the matchmaking works.
I was being a dick. I took like 3 of them out. Can you send it back so I can put it back, please?
No.
Just eat it.
You'll eat them.
Eat them.
Fucking hell.
You also played a game with Ryan and myself,
Yeah.
a bot game.
That was hilarious. I would play more of that game as well. The whole time, my mic wasn't working.
Yeah, your mic wasn't working, so we're talking to Joe without knowing if he understands us.
Yeah, so I'm sort of just typing stuff very slowly, which,
While trying to play.
yeah. But,
And Ryan's just like, yeah, but the whole time.
But the best part was that Ryan, we've had Ryan on the show before. He he was very enthusiastically trying to call when Luke was going to get killed by bots, and then cackling whenever it happened. Like, that was just his favorite thing. Like, he would like just a complete ass to play with, but hilarious.
No, because
Wait, this is the third boss, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just ask,
Joe's nearly done.
You can ask.
John, is this a good example of like if you had the strength, you could put your club in your left hand and attack him that way? Because
You could. Yeah, and it's not even a strength thing. It's just like I could do that now if I wanted. But yeah,
Except
to
you
actually attack one-handed, you would need the 12 strength that the club requires.
What does that soul do?
Later on, I can use that soul in the crafting process to make either that great shield that he was, or the halberd that he was holding. And later on, you get more of those guys that have different weapons, so you can use the soul to craft those weapons, like really big bows and stuff. In my first playthrough, when I beat the game, I used his great shield, and it was great. It was like the name implies, a great shield.
Can you eat that?
No, you'll eat it.
I don't want to eat
You'll learn your lesson.
I don't want to eat them.
Hey, fucking Tim Tam.
Unless you don't get
They're
anything.
gonna
else
get
free.
all.
Unless,
Hey, you're not allowed to leave that couch until you finish all your Tim Tams.
well, you're not allowed to have your broccoli on
It's gonna melt all over your couch.
Anyway, so I'm gonna get back into Dota 2 again probably this week, but
Yeah. Like just when if you see Ryan on my cell phone, just hit us up and we'll jump in.
You should be
Yeah,
playing.
sounds like that's what he wants to do.
You should be playing tomorrow's game, not Dota 2.
I can play many games.
Dota 2
Yeah,
is the
many
game of tomorrow, Jay.
No, it's not.
But yeah, what I'd like is if you could jump in and coach me, and just I have so many questions.
Yeah, so that was the
aren't
problem with
sufficiently like answered by the fucking tutorial. The tutorial is
It's very
awful.
basic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with a game like, not that game, but it's the genre. It's so, the learning curve is so fucking steep.
But the questions I have aren't that complicated.
Like what?
Like, I feel like they could be explained. Like, Heath.
Maybe.
Like the question of where I'm supposed to go between at the start of the game, or things like that. Or, you know, it could have shown me how to fucking change the guide. You know that guide thing that you guys
Mm-hmm.
use? There's a guide in game. People write different guides in game about what items you should be buying and what abilities you should be like leveling up first and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're so different to the default. Like the default is fucking worthless by comparison to some of these guides.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, you learn so much about the function and the proper ways to use these abilities. Like when I first got Sniper, because the tutorial told me to level up the fucking rain of arrows thing first.
Yeah.
Every time I would level up rain of arrows. Now I don't even touch it until I'm like
Yeah.
level 11.
Dude,
Like,
I did the same thing when I started playing that game. Because Sniper was the character that I would learn with as well. This is before the tutorials that came out. And I would do the same thing because I was like, that looks like a fucking cool effect. I'm going to use that. That seems really awesome. But now, when I play a game, I know I don't level it up. That's the last thing I level up. It's just something you learn as you play, as you work out how each character.
or
has
you
their-
use one of these tutorials, these guides, and it
it'll
tells
tell
you.
Yeah.
So if the fucking tutorial would tell you where to get these guides from, that'd be so fucking helpful. I don't
know.
think it would be that hard to add.
Maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked at the tutorials. But isn't there a. Did you do the 5 versus bots? 5 humans versus bots matches? Or did you do all the tutorials? Because there's a bunch in there. I know
Yeah,
there's heaps.
I've done almost all of them. I haven't done. I think I've got 1 or 2 more. Johnny Poo, what are you doing?
Oh, Jesus.
It's all
Got a
sorts
bit
of
greedy. Yeah, there are one. I think I need to do 1 or 2 like last hit trainings because you got to do 10 of them with 10 different characters.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And that just throws you a mid, doesn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, mid
Oh,
items.
yeah.
But that's good for learning the abilities that these guys have and all that kind of shit. That's
Yeah.
fine. You only get select from like 20 different heroes,
Yeah.
but that's all I get to play with in these human versus human games anyway.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, we'll do some coaching. We'll see how that works. 'Cause I've not played with that function at all.
Cool.
Should be funny.
Alright, next.
Titanfall.
Titanfall.
The Fall of Titans.
Yes. I played this last week in
Finished
San
it?
Francisco. I played it in near perfect conditions. I say near perfect conditions because we didn't have microphones.
What?
Yeah,
That's weird.
it is weird.
Was there a reason why?
Deliberately?
No in-game
I don't
chat.
want you talking
No,
to each
there is
other.
in-game chat because
You guys
Chat.
getting this loud that I'm. No, get him out of here.
we were playing with devs on occasion and we could hear them talking to one another, but we didn't have mics, which was a pain in the ass. Would have been really helpful in Last Time Standing to be able to just say on the mic, "Hey guys, don't run out, you fucking morons. Just stay together. If we stay together, we win. Stop running over to their spawn point and dying immediately. Fucking dicks." Anyway, if I could have
Cool,
said that
Drew.
instead of having to yell it into the entire fucking warehouse that we're sitting in, that would have been
You would
really
have been sent
helpful.
home much.
So does this game have a single player?
No, it's got a campaign multiplayer, and I finished the campaign multiplayer on both sides of the. Is this the 4th boss?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Blasting him.
John doesn't waste time.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could have sorry, we had to finish both campaign sides. The different chassis for the Titans. So you've got 3 different chassis. You've got Ogre, you've got Strider, and you've got the default one, which is Atlas. Yeah, you can only unlock Ogre and Strider by finishing the campaign. So
Okay.
you've got to do it, basically, if you want to be able to customize your Titan properly. So yeah, we had to do it. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say not worthwhile because it's good.
It fills in like the.
The voice acting is
Story.
very good, and it tells a story. I don't know if it's a good story. I don't know if it's a worthwhile story, but it is a story. I swear to God, they got Idris Elba to do one of the voices.
Really?
I'm 100% convinced. Idris Elba is one of the voices, and the other one is the sergeant from Ender's Game, who sounds sort of like Idris Elba, and yeah. So they got.
Was
Anyway,
better
the
than
voice
one
acting-
Idris Elba?
The voice acting is very good. The story's not very interesting. It sort of goes nowhere. It doesn't matter who wins each match of the campaign.
We all lose. Isn't that the tagline?
Yeah, that's the tagline. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter who wins. So it doesn't matter if you win or they win. The story continues anyway. So that seems a little. It all seems a little pointless, really.
Yeah.
There are only 2 modes. You only ever play attrition or hardpoint domination in the campaign. So if you want to play, any of the other modes, you've sort of got to go outside. You've got to go to classic multiplayer. What else? 15 maps that I counted. I may have miscounted. It may be 14 maps. That's always a bit of a panic stations moment when you're like, yeah, that's definitely 15 maps. No, I counted this while very jet lagged and made me a little drunk. Yeah, maybe it is 14 maps. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, I didn't like all of them though. I really like 3 of them. I think 3 of them have this capacity to allow the player to really extend themselves as war runners, but because you can war run and you can double jump.
Yeah.
But a lot of the maps.
One of the maps in the beta, the one that was over grass, over hill, and
fracture,
and buildings that were smashed open.
Yeah,
that one didn't have that much wall room.
It actually, like, you look at it and it looks like you can't really get as far as you'd like without touching the ground. But that map, if you go high enough, you're still gonna have to touch the ground. That is a reality on that map. It's too wide open. But you can get a lot farther than you might think by running on. You've got to go way up high though, and you've got to use billboards, and you can get to many roofs without touching any ground. And that's kind of cool. Like, there is a lot of height to a lot of these maps, and I like that. But Fracture was one of the maps I didn't really like.
Do you have a favorite map?
It's a map called Rise, and it's this. It doesn't feature in the campaign.
Was it 7?
It's sort of what?
So it's also your favorite Xbox One video game?
This
And
guy's
my
talking it.
favorite Dark Knight film. It's sort of. I think it's like a canal system, but it's got these. It's got sand on the ground. It's all yellows and reds, and it's got these walls that facilitates easily the best wall running in the entire game. You as long as you work out how to spring off up onto them, you've got to work out specific places where you can get up to them, and you've got to time your jumps right. But you can literally wall run your way out of the bounds of the map.
What?
Yeah.
But what's the purpose in doing that?
For no purpose. I was just doing it for fun. Like, that's what I like about the map. It's one of the only maps where you can wall run and double jump for fun. You can obviously run back into the map, but there's, I don't know, you want to keep pretty low. Like, you never really want to get so high that you're outside of the map, but the fact that you're able to do it is awesome. Calisynth writes, asks if there's any news on Australian and Oceanic servers. I talked to Vince Sampella.
Talk to him.
And they will either have them on launch or less than 2 weeks out of launch.
What?
Yes.
I saw that tweet that was hinting at it.
Yeah. They
Can you hold him to that?
I can't hold them to it, but everything
so
I've heard.
tomorrow, I doubt it.
Sorry?
But
So
basically
tomorrow, right?
basically before the end of the month.
For the end of this month? Yeah, it would be definitely before the end of this month.
Right. So what are we planning on for the time being?
Singapore.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
180 ping. It's not great. But yeah, basically
Did people notice it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
noticeable.
Didn't you play the beta?
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't terrible.
But you can
Was-
notice it if you're looking, you know what to look for. You can.
Yeah, you can see when you're changing.
I'm
stuff.
definitely going to notice it because all I've ever played on is 16 ping. Like, that's the highest I've ever played on, apart from when I'm in Australia. So I'm definitely going to see it. But yeah, like, they were talking about how, like, if you look at South Africa, the game's been removed from Origin. It can't be bought, and they're refunding pre-orders.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they never, like, they
What?
can't see a window of time when they're going to put servers in, and so it's not a game. It's not an experience that they're happy to sell. But they're not doing
That's a
that in
fair call.
Australia.
But
Because-
you can buy it in Origin in Australia.
Yeah, because the game is going to have servers here very fucking soon. Yeah, probably by the end of this week.
They were originally talking like it was going to take months, right?
It was originally by the end of this year. Yeah, but yeah, according to Vince, they said that's not acceptable. That they can't sell that version of the game, so it's got to be fixed, basically. So yeah, there will be Australian servers very fucking soon, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm still gonna play it on launch day, and yeah, I'm gonna put up a video review on OzGamers that reviews that experience, and I'm gonna show off exactly what I mean about the wall
difference.
running.
Have you got video from your?
No, oh my
Got
god,
it
that was
for
a
you?
fucking hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had this capture thing set up, and it didn't work.
Huh.
It wouldn't run, like didn't have enough power to power my USB hard drive.
Huh.
So I brought a formatted hard drive, and it couldn't power it. So they gave me an 8 gigabyte USB stick, which would
What are you
record
gonna put on there? 2 minutes?
8 minutes,
Ah,
not even a full round.
a giga minute. Jeez.
So yeah.
Here's the loading screen.
Yeah. So I didn't really record any of that, and I had some fucking amazing rounds as well. There's one thing I talk about in the review where I popped a burn card to give me the stim pack, and it allows you to run at sprints. That's your default running speed is running at sprint, and when you hit sprint, you run even faster. And you do that permanently if you pop this burn card. And so I popped that, entered the capture the flag map, and sprinted, ran my way over to their flag. And when you're wall running, you move faster than you move sprinting. So I just fucking flip, jump, all the way over, made it to like just outside of their base, popped my invisibility, my cloak. So I was still moving fast, I was cloaked, ran in, grabbed their flag, jumped out a window, jumped back up onto the roof with my double jump, and then I ziplined my way. And when I got back to our flag capture area, the other team was just arriving. Like they'd only just made it halfway around the map, and I made a fucking full loop. Like that, the power of wall running is fucking insane if you're using it, and the other team isn't. But like that's what I love. That's what I love about Titanfall is those moments when you're like just extending yourself fully as a player. You're like, it's like in Skate where you try to find the perfect line, and you try to make the perfect set of tricks, and that's what you feel like when you're wall running and double jumping and just perfecting that sort of movement in Titanfall.
I like the fact that the game isn't so centric just around the mechs. It's
Yeah.
got that element that you can still.
Yeah.
Like, I think
It's
everyone's
not a
pretty much-
hierarchy.
Yeah, I think everyone's called that out in their review. To
Yeah.
say that's.
Yeah, no,
that's the beauty of it.
the Titans are like just tools, and a lot of the time I found in capture the flag maps when I was defending,
Yeah.
I wasn't even in my Titan. I'd call it down and leave it outside,
Yeah.
and I'd hear the voiceover come over and say, "Your Titan is attacking another pilot." And I'd know that someone was coming in, and it'd just prep me for it. But yeah, most of the time, I wasn't even in it. The only time in capture the flag maps that I'd get in my Titan was either when I was attacking, because you can. Another thing you can do is you can dump your Titan down just as you're about to go cap the flag. So you're entering the enemy base, you dump your Titan down, grab their flag, and go jump in your own Titan. Then you just Titan your way back, and nothing can fucking hurt you except for other Titans. It is devastating if your team gets a Titan early, because yeah, like even if they're not like the flag carrier, you can still rodeo as the flag carrier. You can rodeo on their Titan, and you get the full benefit of their shields, which means small arms fire doesn't even fucking affect you. Like you're basically invincible. So yeah, like that's why.
That's what the Titan burn card's for. The one that halves the time?
Yeah, you get 80
Shows.
seconds.
Yeah.
So that's not half. Default is 4 minutes, but you can easily get it with inside. If you take 80 seconds off and you kill a pilot, a couple of specters, you can easily get it with inside a minute of the start of the match. And yeah, like the race for a Titan is sometimes pretty intense. The other thing is that yeah, if someone does call in a Titan, the entire other team is forced to focus on killing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're fucked. So yeah, there was one map where the other team, I think they were both devs. They both managed to get Titans before anyone on my team was even halfway, and
They fucked you over.
they trounced us. Like it was embarrassing, devastating. Yeah. Anyway, I don't like 40% of the game modes are team deathmatch. I don't like that. So in the beta you had attrition and last Titan standing and hardpoint domination. Everyone knows domination is domination. Like it's the game mode. It's tiny conquest from Battlefield or domination from Call of Duty. What the fuck? And attrition is team deathmatch with a little twist that allows you to you can get points for killing AI as well, which makes things a tiny bit easier. And the other one is like Last Titan Standing, where you your team has one Titan life, and once all the Titans on your team are dead, that's it. You lose the round. That gets a bit tense, especially if you're the last Titan standing, and on your team. There was one round where I was the last Titan standing. I had full health. I basically just sat back and
Let everyone.
picked off everyone.
Oh, okay.
And there were 3 enemy Titans left, and
And you were the only one on your team?
yeah, but they had fuck all health, and so they all came at me at the same time, and I popped the damage core to go double damage, and it decimated the shields on them, and I killed 2 of them, and the other one ran away, like full blown ran away, and so I had to chase after him, and by the time I got to him, like these 3 had fucked me up by the end of this. I think I was on a sliver of health, and yeah, so I managed to catch up to him, and he turned around, and we duked it out, and he managed to get me into critical mode, which is when you've got the yellow and black bars. He got me into it like a tiny sliver of like 5 seconds before I got him into it, and hi Steve,
Hey,
you're
Steve.
supposed to be on the podcast, buddy. And yeah, he got me into critical just before I could get him in, but I went for it anyway. I kept fighting, kept attempting to shoot him down, and I did, and he'd stopped shooting me. He started to run away, and so when I got him in critical, I managed to shoot his Titan down to destroyed before mine just sort of dragged its way down, and we won the match. It was like a sliver that we managed to win that. Oh, sorry, just a round. We wound up losing the match, which was upsetting. But yeah, no, just barely managed to win the round, which was awesome, and I loved that mode. The other 2 modes that you wouldn't have seen in the beta, one of them is Capture the Flag, I already talked about, and the other one is Pilot Hunt, and it is pure team deathmatch. The only thing you can score points off is by killing pilots.
So there's no Titans.
There are Titans,
Oh.
but you don't get points for killing. Which, oh man, I fucking hate that mode. Like, just fuck off with it. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that there's a 40% fucking team deathmatch. There aren't very many weapons. Like, I think there's 2 variants of each type. There's 2 assault rifles, 2 sniper rifles, 4 pistols if you count the smart pistol. You know, a shotgun, a light machine gun. But overall, there's just not very many weapons, and there's not very many customization options for them either. I think there's 3 scopes for each weapon. Like, there's not a lot of opportunity to customize your playstyle.
Is there anything that's coming in the future for that? Did they talk about
I don't know. They didn't talk about anything like it, so I don't know. But overall, like, it gave me the feeling that, you know, the game wasn't. They played it safe. They held back, and they played it very safe, and they didn't take any chances. And they could have taken some really cool chances. They could have had a mode where if you touch the ground, you died. Or, you know,
Acid ground.
Ground is lava.
yeah, the ground is lava. Or, you know, even if not you die, but you've got 3 seconds or you die.
That's where modders come in.
Yeah.
Oh, but is it going to be like moddable?
They said they wouldn't restrict it from modding,
Right.
but they also said they weren't going to directly support it. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit miffed that it's not all it could be, but I really enjoy playing it. I'm definitely going to play quite a bit of it. Did you just kill your 5th boss?
Yeah, that was number 5.
Were you saying you were having problems with number 5?
No, it's after number 5 that things get pretty tough.
Okay.
These are all basically the, if you can imagine, like, you know, Mario's grouped up into, like, actually no, that's a bad, like, there's different worlds, like, you know, 4 or 5 different worlds, and these are all, like, the first bosses of those worlds, so.
Right.
You don't need warp flute.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much, like, if any boss that I take on from this stage onward would be, like, a stage 2 boss of any world. Whether
Right.
that's World 1, World 2, World 3, it would all be, like, stage 2. So, considerably harder than stage 1, especially as a OneBro. But, you know, like, this is basically the point where I start dying. But, you know, we're still casting, so whatever.
Might as well keep going.
I'm pretty happy I made the 5 without dying, but
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a
Yeah.
good effort. Round of applause.
I saw it die. What are you talking about?
I didn't die.
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm still human. That's how you can tell.
Face.
I don't know how to tell you people.
Well, I was closing in on my face quite a bit to show that I was human. Maybe
Anyway.
I'll just get naked again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, guys, see that human face?
What happens when you die?
You
I
got
go
what?
undead, like a zombie.
Cool. So Titanfall. Anyone specifically arsey kicked or any dirt you want to throw around or like?
There was one round, okay? There was one round when we were playing fucking Domination on Angel City. Angel City was in the beta. It's the city map in the beta. And I was protecting A, and I'd occasionally use wall running to get my way over to B. And but mostly I was just protecting A, and I dumped my Titan just outside the window of A, so the Titan could look in.
Yep.
And it would I'd leave it on guard mode, and every time an enemy pilot would run near, it'd go it'd engage the Titan, or the Titan would engage it, and I'd get the notice, and so I know to go back to A. I got 3,500 points attacking, and 3,000 points defending. No, sorry, reverse that. 3,500 points defending and 3,000 points attacking. Right? On the other team, the best I saw was like 2,000 attacking and 1,500 defending. My team still lost. There was not a single other person on my team above 1,500 points on either of them, on either attacking or defending. I carried the shit out of them, and we still lost. What the fuck, other games journalists? What the fuck were you doing? I wanted to murder every single person on my team. I could
Were
not
they
believe.
Aussie journalists or everyone from everywhere?
Probably American.
Americans. there was 2 Kiwi journos, me as the only Aussie journo, and the rest were US journos. And oh my god, I could not believe. Maybe one person out of a team might be goofing off in any particular round, like trying out different things, trying out different weapons. It's a review event, and I can totally dig that. But my entire team fucking around? Come on! Absolutely terrible. Anyway, I can't remember who was on my team. We all had, names, like made up names.
Like Echo 4.
No, we were named after. I was Cheech. We're named after movie stars.
And named after stoners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so no particular trash to throw around. Just literally every single US journo sucks my dick.
No particular
Anyway.
So it's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I'm sure, provided servers come out on time, everyone else will enjoy it as well. Cool. Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
News.
Oh yeah, Frozen End Zone.
Frozen End Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, John.
The old Frozone. So I haven't played too much more of this. I only jumped in because they recently, very recently, released their new update, which has player individual robot stats in it. So you kind of create your own team, and there are different attributes that you can either boost or lessen. And the way it works is, if you want to boost a stat, you have to lessen other stats to a greater degree. So the balance is if you want someone to specialize in something, you pay more than that specialization was worth. So if you want to fully boost 2 stats, you're fully lessening 3 other stats, not 2. But there are different degrees of it. You can boost your speed stat, say for example. There are 3 degrees of boosting that, and there are 3 degrees of making that lesser. So yeah, I had a little play with that. I just loaded up the single player. I created a team and tried to have some specialized guys just to see what it was like. And I gave 2 of my guys some boosted speed, and they have raw speed, but they also have what they call burst, which is I think a burst of speed after you just catch the ball. You get a little burst. So is that not him? Yeah. And then I gave 2 guys that, so basically offensive capabilities. Then I gave 3 guys defensive capabilities. I boosted their blocking and their strength and interception and stuff like that. And one thing I could definitely say, the AI was good enough to have a game. Not a human, obviously, but it wasn't doing anything stupid or ridiculous. And the actual differences, say for example, if you boost blocking all the way, that's not a small difference. Your block radius is freaking huge, man. And you can take on much more space, far more than you would expect, far more than you would be able to if you only had a normal blocking range. So I'm interested to see exactly what kinds of situations, really wide sort of openings that you can defend with that kind of stuff. The only thing about that is you can't really, this is what I was trying to do before, you can't really decide where you spawn. It's random. So you can't say I want my good offensive guy to spawn in the exact perfect spot for him to get the ball, that kind of stuff. I want my guy who's meant for throwing to spawn near the ball so he can throw it. You don't have any control over that. So yeah, that's a bit random. So I don't know. I guess there's a bit of stuff at play where it's what are the odds? There's a 60% chance I might get an offensive person in the right spot, something like that. Yeah. but very interesting. So yeah, it hasn't been out long enough for me to fully test it, but I'm really keen to see what the deeper ramifications are. We've talked before about how the end zone mode was the main mode. They've changed that now. Now the handball mode's the main mode, where it's like a fully end-to-end gridiron match, where like if you can have turnovers and you try and get the ball to the other side and stuff like that. So that's the main mode now. And there was actually quite a few people calling on their forums for that to be the case.
Yep.
So some people on the forum saying, I see a lot of potential in this handball mode. I think this is where the game's heading. This is the direction. And so it looks like they've listened to that. And I agree. The few handball games that I've played, there have been some really interesting tactics that come out of it. They've got a thing called a punt, where it's you basically you're not actually punting the ball, you're just throwing it in open space.
Yeah.
And but they call it a punt because you have no options, pretty much no offensive options, and you kind of just have to throw it in a spot where it's really awkward for your opponent, and then you have to then plan around him getting the ball. And then surrounding him as best you can and stuff like that. So those are the interesting tactics that kind of arise.
There's no fake punt.
No fake punt,
Love a fake
unfortunately. But you can fake going in a certain direction, just like you could in Frozen Synapse, where it's like if you kind of it's right before the end of the turn and your guy just kind of goes a bit to the left, making it kind of look like you want to go that way. But then the next turn you go right. You can do that. It, of course your opponent is going to think, well, does he really want to go that way, or is he trying to fake me out? But when you do that, there is a period of slowing down and losing your momentum and then gaining momentum the other way. So, the little decisions that you make. They've also brought in a lot more in terms of animations and celebrations and all that cool stuff. So really looking forward to seeing what I can do with putting a team together. And I'm kind of happy that, because like I mentioned before, I was thinking about doing YouTube tips.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad that all the footage that I captured before is not useless, because it still applies to the Frozen, the end zone mode. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess that's all I've got to say about that, because I haven't played too much of it. Looking pretty baller though. Looking like a great game. And it's buy one, get one free at the moment.
Alright, cool. Cool.
This next box that I'm coming up to now is what you call a tier 2 boss.
Right.
And he is going to smoke me. That's what's going to happen here.
Why?
But, this is basically any boss that you do as a OneBro where you are facing more than one opponent is it's tough, man. Your stamina bar is just not meant to be blocking the attacks of multiple people.
Alright, so this is the one where you're not supposed to jump down, right?
Yeah, you don't jump down, otherwise you're facing 3 right from the get-go.
Can he fall down?
He can fall down and then he jumps back up.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, oops, I accidentally attacked. That's what happens when I attack one-handed with my club. I do shit all damage. Because I'm not meant to be doing that. So the other 2 guys are kind of just standing by watching their friend get smashed. Or actually win.
Heal up.
And then, after you beat this guy, then they get serious and they both aggro at the same time. And what you can do, if you're a tricksy little hobbitses, is you can get this one guy who's coming over right now, you can just cheese his ass as he's coming over, you can fire lightning bolts at him, you can fire sorcery, and you can get him down to less than halfway. But I can't do that as a OneBro. I have very limited range options. I kind of just have to do this. And this is actually good. But now I need to back off because of that.
Hey, that was close.
And
So now you're down.
now it's on. This is tough. If they do like the exact same attack, yeah, because that obviously the first guy broke my guard there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they decide to do that, then
Like
yeah.
that?
If they both decide to attack at the same time, it's just pretty tough, man. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's just pretty tough. And then of course now I've got to work out which one I'm actually attacking. You can block this one.